Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I am back off of vacation. Did you miss me? I hear my printer acting crazy. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I missed you. Was it a fun vacation? Not really. It was a staycation, and I wore my mask going to the beach with my kids Monday, which was crazy. We left early in the morning and we got there about 8 o'clock on the beach. We wore our masks. Hello, everyone. We wore our masks. And the more people that came, we got nervous and we left. And a lot of them weren't wearing masks. And I said, I can't do this. I am anxious. I have anxiety. I cannot handle this COVID. I've been literally home. They asked me to go next week. The White House press corps asked me to go next week to cover Vice President Pence. Woo! Look who's my guest. So the White House asked me to go. White House press corps. That's Tara Setmayer. Yes. How you doing? So I'm telling the story, Tara, that the White House press corps asked me to do pool next week for Vice President Pence. And they asked me to do pool next week for Vice President Pence. But what they don't realize is I'm not going to the White House. I'm not going anywhere. I have underlying issues. And they said, but it's in Baltimore. I said, okay, because he's going to, accept the nomination for VP. So that's now done, that he's going to come back as VP if, reelect.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So you look so gorgeous tonight.
Oh, thank you.
They wanted me to go, and I said, I said, look, I am one of those people who have underlying issues. And not only that, this is the crew that doesn't wear a mask. Pence may wear a mask, but everybody else won't wear one. And who the hell knows? Once again, I'm not going out for a lie or a story. My doctor says so I'm staying home.
Well, that's a good decision. And I love the new look, April. You have been rocking it the last couple of weeks. I love it.
An old lady's crying. Old lady's crying.
You are not old. Stop it. The irony of them asking you to be the pool reporter is just ridiculous. First of all, Black and brown folks are the most impacted by COVID. So they're sacrificing you, one of the few Black reporters and White House correspondents. And then on top of that, they just want to be able to say that they have someone of color that's covering this because they're underwater in race relations. It's so transparent what they're doing.
They're underwater. And where they're going is right off the Baltimore Harbor.
Exactly.
Water, just because they're underwater. So guys, I'm so glad that you're joining in. I'm back off vacation with my girl. This woman is everything. Before we became friends, and I haven't told you this, in my mind, I was like, we're going to be friends one day. We're going to be friends one day. And look at what happened. I just think you're the most amazing person. You speak truth. She's a Republican who is choosing not to vote for Donald John Trump, but Joe Biden. But let me give her credentials. You see her on the C to the N to the N as a political commentator. She's a contributor to ABC News, former GOP communications director on Capitol Hill. She also appears on The View as one of the hosts. Yes.
I filled in a time or two.
Yes, she's on Real Time with Bill Maher. She's all around everywhere. She's everywhere, and she knows a lot. She's done a lot, and she can tell you what it's all about right now. Especially now, and this is most important. Right now, she's got all these credentials, but she's trying to fight for democracy. She's working with the Lincoln Project. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Lincoln Project is giving it to Donald John Trump. Okay. It's a political action committee formed in the late 2019 by several prominent and former individuals associated with the Republican Party. It's basically to get rid of Donald Trump and Trumpism. Okay, correct. Let's say that again. If you don't know, you better go ask somebody. Let there be light. Okay. So the Lincoln Project is dedicated to Americans protecting the democracy. And Tara, what does, and you're a co-chair of it, right?
I'm a senior advisor.
Senior advisor, okay. You're a senior advisor, well, you're in a senior position. You may as well run the damn thing. So anyway.
We've got a great team. There's a lot of people involved. We call it the pirate ship. So if you notice that when we tweet things out, you see the pirate ship flag because it's kind of what it is. So I'm happy to be part of the pirate ship.
So the mission statement, it says, our mission, defeat President Trump and Trumpism at the ballot box. That means November 3rd, my daughter's birthday. We do not undertake this task lightly, nor from ideological preference. Our many differences with national Democrats remain. However, the priority for all patriotic Americans must be a shared fidelity to the Constitution and a commitment to defeat those candidates who have abandoned their constitutional oath, regardless of party. Electing Democrats who support the Constitution over Republicans who do not is worthy effort. Wait, hold on. Electing Democrats who support the Constitution over Republicans who do not is a worthy effort. Okay, I had to read it.
Right.
Even with my glasses on. So basically, to sum it up, a synopsis of a synopsis: no Donald Trump, yes to Joe Biden.
Correct. And it has, at this point, ideological differences, policy disagreements are secondary because Donald Trump is such an existential threat to our democracy that nobody has time to be arguing over the ins and outs of Social Security privatization. That's just when you have someone that's literally undermining the Constitution, undermining our basic civil rights and freedoms guaranteed to us under the Constitution, whether it's voting rights or attacking freedom of speech, attacking freedom of assembly, attacking the free press. I mean, the list is long of egregious violations of this president and his enablers, because Donald Trump is who he is. And I've said this for a long time. We know who he is. This is not a shock that he's behaved this way. It's the enablers around him that have allowed this to go on. And unfortunately, those enablers have been the Republican Party and elected Republicans. And the Lincoln Project has made the decision that none of them are safe. You have to be held to account for what you have allowed to happen under this presidency when you were in a position to stop it. The guardrails are supposed to be Congress. And the Republican Senate
checks and balances.
Checks and balances and the guardrails, all of those things to stop the lunacy that's happening have failed us because of these enabler Republicans that were unwilling and too cowardly to stand up to this psychopath. And here we are. We're 170,000 dead Americans almost and counting, with no end in sight to this. Are we over it now? I've kind of been in a bit of a bunker. I've been writing a speech on protecting free speech and press.
No matter what they say, no matter what they say, the number is, it's not
too many.
Because you have so many people who have not been tested.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a mess, no matter what it is. The point is that people are dying. People are dying in large numbers, over 1,000 a day that we know of, because of the incompetence of this president and because of the people around him not putting their foot down and saying, enough. Mr. President, we're not going to freaking inject people with disinfectant to stop this. Mr. President, how about you wear a mask? Because masks are actually what helps to prevent the spread of the transmission of this disease. Why don't you? I think we need to do that. There really is no argument over the science here. If you care about the lives of the American people, you need to lead by example. But the problem is that Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about anybody but himself. And because he's such a malignant narcissist that he is incapable of it. I don't know if you saw, did you see his response to the death of his brother? It was crazy. He talked about how his brother.
Was he golfing this weekend and knew his brother died?
His brother was in the hospital in New York dying, and he happened to make a stop on his way to his golf course to see his brother. And, he was like, oh, okay, well, sorry, and then went golfing. Then his brother tragically passes away, right? Condolences to the Trump family. Nobody wants to see a family member pass. But Trump was asked about this on Fox and Friends this morning. Does he want to say something about his brother?
Callous.
And he went on and on about how his brother wasn't jealous of him. There was no jealousy, and he was always there for him in all of his successes. And how in some families people
success, like he's a success, right?
That's a whole nother conversation. But is that how you talk about your beloved brother and alleged best friend?
It's supposed to be about him, not about the family competition, the brother competition.
Right. It's sick. He's a sick man, and that narcissism and that inability to have empathy and compassion for other human beings is what has led us to this point where we've got thousands of Americans dying a day because he doesn't give a damn, and he never will.
So what the president said so there was definitely sibling rivalry, and that's what he wants to talk about.
Read the Mary Trump book.
Mary Trump, I'm not mad at you. So look, I I like
She
Mary
told the
Trump.
truth.
And
Yeah.
she basically gave everything that we kind of knew. So here's another thing that I want to talk about. The fact that, along with this, the fact that the president said that they're going to have a little service Friday at the White House. I said,
For his
okay.
brother?
For his brother.
Oh,
At the
nice
White
of them.
House. Yeah. So moving on. So Tara, okay, so for everyone, someone said not a damn, that's right. I want you guys to go tell somebody, because we got some talking to do tonight. It's 6:00. This is our new time. I want you to stay here because 6:00 is the hour that we're going to be doing this from now on. And I'm so thankful for Tara Setmayer to come on to talk tonight. She is a voice that is needed in this weary land at this moment. She's really. She's
you too.
Oh,
You're doing yeoman's work as a reporter in this environment. It's you guys are courageous for what you have to go through, especially for what you've had to go through, even with threats to your life and all the crazy things going on, because this administration seeks retribution against the pillar of democracy, which is the free press. So kudos to you too, April.
And you know what? And I'm tired of it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm now like, I've given him the benefit of the doubt. I tried to be, very objective. I'm objective any other time, but now it's time for people. I'm not saying vote for Joe Biden, but I'm saying don't vote for Donald Trump. Period.
I'm saying vote for Joe Biden. Vote for Biden. Vote for Joe Biden, please.
But I cannot go down that road.
I know.
What I can say is, because of the unique person I've been in for 23 years, because I have been, I've seen the good, the bad, and the different at the White House. I've seen how it's supposed to go, and then you see this. At the post office, my aunt from North Carolina called me. It was Saturday night. I was asleep. April, you look so good. Oh, Stephen called me. I'm calling to tell you from North Carolina. I'm calling to tell you didn't do something about this post office. I said, I need to do something.
Right.
Yeah, because I sent my bill. I'm never late. I'm never late on my bills. I sent my bill in, and they're in a small town between Fayetteville and Wilmington. It went to Wilmington and it went to Fayetteville. It took 3 weeks just to come back here a couple blocks down the road. And they said my bill was late. I said, and that's just the bill. And that's in a red state. That's a bill. What about medications?
Right.
What about people? This is life and death. What about money that comes in the mail?
Social security checks, disability checks, veterans that use the VA depend on the postal service to deliver their medications. I mean, I think that Trump is overstepping, right?
Overstepping.
Right? Anytime the devil always makes a step too far and ends up hanging himself. And that's kind of what's happening right now. Yeah. I think that they miscalculated how much righteous anger the American people in their red states, the Trump-based places, the righteous anger of people messing with the post office, because it is literally an institution that's been around since Benjamin Franklin was our first postmaster general. And he made the point to say, one of the key functions of government is the ability to deliver the mail, packages. Back then you didn't have email and cell phones, okay? So this is an institution as old as our country that Donald Trump is now trying to systematically dismantle for his own political advantage. And people are like, wait, hold on a second. Like your auntie in North Carolina in a small town, just like out in red states in middle America, where the postal service is oftentimes the only way people can communicate. They don't even have 5G. They don't have high-speed wireless services. And older people don't, they don't pay with bills online. Like, this is ridiculous. And I think that what I have seen over the last week, as this story has crescendoed, is that I don't think they're going to be able to get away with this en masse. I saw pictures today, and I didn't even know this. If you live in Washington, D.C., in some cities where if you don't pay your parking tickets, they come and they boot your car. If anybody that's ever happened, it happened to me a couple times in college, I will admit, nobody ever wants to come out and see that boot on their car. Well, they're now putting
they used to just tow us. No boot. They just
well, DC, they booted. Now they're putting these boots on mailboxes. I saw pictures across social media today of these locks that are on our mailboxes in communities, so you cannot open it. What in the actual hell is that? I didn't even know they had that. See, someone said in San Francisco
what
too.
What in the actual hell is it? It's called the actual hell Donald Trump.
Right. And Congress can't sit back and do nothing. And I'm glad to hear that Nancy Pelosi's calling the House back into session to address this, because this is a national emergency.
Wait a minute. But Tara, this is where, they're coming back, the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, they're having the Postmaster General answer questions on the 24th. But that's a need. But then we also have another crisis, the stimulus check issue. Mm-hmm. What in the hell is going on right now? And this is all because the president of the United States cannot cross the aisle, shake hands, and say, let's work for the common good for the American public. Yes, I'm blaming it on Donald Trump. He is the leader of this country. And he's talking about executive orders because he cannot work with Democrats. At a time like this, you need to be able to come together for people, not for political party, but for people. Right. Humanity is crying out.
That's right. That's right. And it's interesting because this time around, for the second round of stimulus checks, there was funding for the post office in one of those bills. And the president said, I'm not signing it if there's funding for the post office. This has been going on for weeks now.
Because so now, as they want black folks mailing in ballots for Joe Biden.
That's correct.
Let's call it out, guys. We're calling it out.
He doesn't want anybody mailing in ballots for Joe Biden because he knows he's going to lose. And the attack on mail-in voting is just another way to sow discord and distrust in an American institution. This guy is cut from an authoritarian cloth that every American should be shaking their boots over, because another 4 years of this may have this country look unrecognizable. So that's why it's so important that people have to speak up, let your representatives know what's going on, know what's happening in your localities with your election offices, get educated about how to vote, because they're going to try everything. But thank God we still have freedoms in this country where the American people, are the only ones who are going to be able to change this. We are the ones. They work for us. They need to be reminded of that.
So Tara, we got a couple questions. Guys, I want you to tell people, go run, tell that we are on here. We got a couple questions. We don't get people like Tara Setmayer on here often.
Oh, so that's not true.
You mean a lot to me. So and I
thank you
for coming on. So here's and tonight, and it's not a coincidence that we had Tara on tonight, because tonight is the beginning of the DNC, Democratic National Convention, and you're going to see Michelle Obama, you're going to see Stacey Abrams. Who else? You said Kasich.
John Kasich. You know, I mean, as a conservative, never Trumper, I am excited to see John Kasich step up to the plate and show the American people what bipartisanship looks like, because the threat that Donald Trump poses and these freaking Republicans is greater than partisanship. When Lincoln Project, when we put out our social media or our ads, a lot of us, or the senior advisors tweet, one of the hashtags we use is country over party. And that's what we're doing. That's what people like John Kasich, like my home state former governor, Chrissy Todd Whitman, Meg Whitman, Susan Molinari. These are Republicans who have decided to step up and speak at the DNC to show that there is a bipartisan sense of urgency, that our Constitution and our constitutional republic and the health of it is more important than partisanship. So I'm excited to see that, because it's been a long time since you've seen any kind of real prominent Republicans or someone of the other party at a convention.
I remember when those things used to happen. I remember during the Clinton years. I remember, at some points during the Bush years. I remember some points during the Obama years. Now it's like null and void. Someone remind me. Yes, Bernie Sanders. I saw Bernie Sanders 2 weeks ago. I had to go to Capitol Hill, and I had to get my press badge. And he had his mask on. And I heard that voice. I said, "That's Bernie Sanders." You look. I was like, "You can't miss that's that him. Voice. You cannot miss that voice." So someone asked. They said, "What do we do with all the crazy supporters of Trump when he is out?" That's a good question, because that's, Tara. It's a mindset. It's a vibe now. It's something. It's not just oh, the president's gone and it's over. They're going to be acting out for a while. So what do you do?
That is a question that a lot of us are faced every day. And my mom and I talk all the time. My mom's my best friend, and we are the exact same person. She's just 21 years older than me. And so we finish each other's sentences, we think alike, and we kvetch about this often. Like, what the hell do we do with these people? Because once Trump, okay, that's one thing. But what do we do? His followers aren't going anywhere. And I use the term followers very specifically because it's actually more than just supporters. It's bigger than politics here, which makes this even scarier. And Carl Bernstein, who is one of our colleagues at CNN, famed reporter of Watergate days, of Woodward and Bernstein fame, Carl Bernstein said something the other day on CNN that really resonated with me, and I'm probably going to use moving forward. He said that we are in a cold civil war in this country. And I was like, wow, that hit me because I couldn't put it into words what I saw, and that is exactly what it is. Donald Trump has stirred up a cold civil war in this country by unearthing some of the ugliest, racist, worst common denominators of people, and they are bonded by that.
His base. The
yes,
basement of
yes.
his base.
And I am not sure what we do other than shame them back under the rocks from which they came by not allowing what they're doing to become mainstream or normalized. You know, these QAnon crazies and the conspiracy theory folks out there.
Explain this QAnon mess. Because I'm like, you got Antifa, you got over here, you got QAnon over there. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh my gosh. For those who don't know, what am I getting? An urgent message? No, they can wait. For those who don't know,
said build a wall around them. That's right.
Yeah, let them go. Yeah, I know. It's and you hate to talk that way about your fellow Americans, right? Like that. I don't like to dehumanize them the way they're dehumanizing us.
Our lives.
Yes, and that's a page out of the authoritarian playbook too, is to dehumanize the dissenters, people who disagree with you, which makes it easier to oppress them. Anyone who knows history knows how that ends up very badly. But anyway, so QAnon is this. No one really knows how it started. Quite how it started. We don't know if this is a Russian op that is turned into something bigger. Whether it's some kind of white supremacist group online, but it started a few years ago where it's become this cult where they believe in stuff like there's a satanic child sex trafficking underworld within the federal government, and that this Q is working within the government and Donald Trump is in cahoots with this guy because he sends out signals about things that they're supposed to be doing and these crazy conspiracy theories. And the FBI has said that they flagged QAnon as a potential domestic terrorist organization, which doesn't get enough attention, and it should. You see these people wearing these Q shirts or putting these Q Trump rallies and things now because they've been emboldened by Trump's decision to give them life. His son, his campaign people, himself, they've retweeted QAnon accounts with crazy QAnon, memes and things. And now we have these people running for office. You had 53 QAnon supporters run for some kind of office in the last round of primaries across the country. And 2 of them have won in congressional districts primaries, one out in Colorado and one just recently, this crazy woman in Georgia just won her primary in a district that won 76%, I believe, Republican last time for the Republican who retired. So she's pretty much a shoo-in to win. These people are bringing these things now to Congress, and you have Kevin McCarthy and Republican leaders not shunning these people the way they should. I mean, we saw what it took for them to shun Roy Moore, for God's sakes.
It took black women to get Roy Moore out.
Right. But these people now are going to have a foot. They're going to have a foot into our government. Actually, this is crazy. I mean, it is just really a shame what has happened. What the Republican Party has embraced. It's so not the Republican Party that
it's not the premise of the Republican Party.
No, it's not.
That's what I want to ask you. And I want to ask you after this. Someone said my mother is going to be a poll worker this year to make sure people's votes are being counted. Thank you.
Good for her.
That's good. So I've got a bunch of Republican friends. I've got a bunch of Democratic friends. But what I need to ask you is, as a Republican, you're still a Republican, correct?
Barely, yes. But I always say I'm a conservative first. But right. Yes, I'm still technically a Republican, yes.
Our friend Shermichael Singleton left the party because he says he doesn't recognize what the party is right now.
I agree with him.
But as a Black person, I mean, Michael Steele is still a Republican, and they did him dirty. They did him dirty, I believe. And
Michael Steele's going to have an announcement soon, so next week, stay tuned for that. But yeah.
Okay. And I just talked to him. He didn't tell me about the announcement, but yeah, I just talked to him today because I'm trying to book him for the show next week, actually.
Oh yeah.
For the RNC convention.
Book him on Monday. That's when the announcement's going to happen. It's going to happen during the Nicole Wallace show. Deadline.
No, he said Monday he could. He didn't let on. He said Monday.
That's all right.
So, well, anyway,
it's just a little announcement. It's not, it's not like he's running for president or something. It's just a little thing.
So, but here's the thing. Help Black people, help all people understand at a time when this president and the party seems to be shunning Black people who believe in the community, who believe in life, meaning Black Lives Matter, who are more, it's not just about conservatism, but it's about the wholeness of people. Talk to me about the Black conservative and the challenge of being there and also being in the party, and also why you became a Republican in the first place. Because I mean, it sounds crazy to ask that, and you can choose whatever party you want to be in. But at this moment, people are trying to figure out why, because they're saying, oh, Republicans were racist. And then they say Republicans say, oh, no, the Democrats were racist first. But for the moment where we're in, the party that seems to embrace, but still may not do everything that's needed, seems to embrace the community, seems to be the Democratic Party. And the Republican Party seems to want to say and do what they want and still think Black folks are going to like it and be part of it.
Well,
they don't have an umbrella for us.
Right. That's a lot to unpack, but I'll say it like this. The reasons why conservatism resonates with me more really had more to do with influences back before the current environment we're in now. I've been in politics for 25 years. So we're talking like the Jack Kemps, the George Bushes, the more compassionate conservatives of those days. People argue about Reagan, who I happen to like, but that's a different discussion. But the idea of conservatism and individual and empowering individual, less government intervention in your life, and instead of trying to guarantee outcomes, you try to guarantee opportunity. That's something that Jack Kemp preached a lot about when he was HUD secretary. He talked about the ladders of opportunity, because I feel like it's like kind of teaching people to fish as opposed to just giving them the fish. Like where I disagreed with progressives or Democrats was that government was the answer to things and trying to control outcomes. That's kind of the fundamental difference. I mean, obviously, approach to capitalism, the approaches to small business and ownership and those ideas, and how much role the government, all of those guys, and
Republicans
those
were good.
things, right? I looked at that and said, yeah, because I came from, my mom was a single parent till I was 15. She had me at 21. My mom raised me to never be anybody's victim because I was a woman, because I was a woman of color. I mean, I'm biracial. My mom is white, actually. My father's in Guatemala, and my mom was like, you are never going to be anybody's victim because of your color of your skin or because of your gender. And I didn't, and I still feel that way. And I still feel that conservative values teach that a little bit more, where, but over the years,
less government, more self.
Yes, right, like, because the government bureaucracy can be terrible. And but there's also a role for government too in certain things. It's just that
people
we argue about
the cracks, they step in.
Absolutely. And I think we just argue over how big that role should be and where. Among other things, with military and taxes and things like that. But that stuff is, more policy. So that's kind of what attracted me to Republicanism. Now, over the years, it is since Donald Trump, and even with the Tea Party, I was a little bit like, oh my God, these people, and I felt like the Tea Party, and I look back now in retrospect and think that maybe I was wrong, but it wasn't necessarily about race for them. It was more economic. And then as I saw things happening, I was like, okay,
so
right
after Barack Obama became president, remember that story that someone spit on Congressman John Lewis?
Right.
On the Hill?
Right.
And I was furious. So there's no way. I mean, I knew they
But there was
came
a
to,
question about whether that actually happened. There was some question about it. So I don't know. If it happened, that's terrible. But there were other
Tara,
things. There were
Tara,
other things
Tara,
that were very racial with them.
Tara,
Racial grievance.
Tara.
Yeah.
It
I
happened.
mean, okay. I'm just saying.
It
I'm
happened.
telling you at the
But I'm
time.
just saying that was ugly.
Yeah,
That
the
was
whole
ugly,
thing
and
was
I'll never
ugly.
forget that. And you cannot tell me Donald Trump's politics was built off of birtherism.
Yes, and cultural grievance. Yes.
Birtherism.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tea Party came to prominence because of racism, of a black man holding the highest office in the land. And now we have this polar opposite, because there's still a segment of society that can't handle black people having a brain, black
Yeah,
people being
or having
smart.
power.
Donald Trump said when he first got in, a couple months in, within the year, he said, "Oh, I didn't think this was going to be that hard." You know why he didn't think it was going to be that hard? Because a black man had it.
Well,
He thought it was easy because he thinks our brains can't comprehend. No, he's
right.
the one who can't comprehend it, is limited.
Oh, that's for sure.
We are
And he's a
kings and queens. We invented math.
right. And Donald Trump has been an ignoramus his whole life, and he's been a racist his whole life. He's felt as though that minorities are inferior his whole life. I mean, his father was a racist, and so he's a walking, breathing, 10 times worse example of his father. So the idea that a black man could be president and he couldn't was something he just couldn't sit back and not allow. And let's not forget that that Barack Obama humiliated Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2011.
Yes, he did. I was there, and I was looking at Donald Trump. I was like, "Oh, look at he was trying to be all cool."
Ooh, and he
I was
was not
like,
happy. He was not happy because it was right after the whole birtherism thing kind of flopped, and Obama was making a joke about it because it was just so ridiculous. And Donald Trump did not like that. He's not self-deprecating. He has no sense of humor. And many people think, and I think it's a valid theory, it's viable, that that's where he made the decision that he was going to get back. He was going to get back at Barack Obama and everybody else, and he was going to run for president. It was at that moment. So, here we are.
I love Josie says I'm voting for Donald Trump. Okay, go
Well,
vote. Okay.
There's self-hate is a hell of a drug.
Someone said, "I don't trust the ballot counters. What if they are MAGA?" That's a good question.
That's a very good question. That's why you have multiple layers, and you're supposed to, at least anyway, for ballot observers. There's never one person by themselves. So for Democrats, if you live in a red district, if you can go out and volunteer to be a poll counter, do it, because there needs to be representation on both sides to avoid that.
Or a judge, yeah, an elections
Yeah.
judge. An elections judge. I have a girlfriend. She was like, "I want to be an elections judge. I want to be an elections judge." And she finally called me. "I am an elections judge." I said, "Good. I'm so happy for you."
Mm-hmm.
She feels the weight of this. And I feel so happy for people. Even in the midst of this moment of death, people still want to do, something to help people. And I just think it's amazing. Let me go back to some
it's encouraging. It's encouraging.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Michael J. Shine, Biden 2020. Okay. I'm gonna put up some of these questions. Okay.
While you're putting those questions
It's
up, I'm going to address something about why folks like Michael Steele and myself have yet to formally leave the party. I love.
Oh, so you're saying he's formally leaving?
No. I'm saying why people like us have not formally left. People ask, why haven't you guys formally left the party? Unlike Michael and many others. A bunch of the Lincoln Project guys are done with the Republican Party, and they worked on Republican campaigns and hundreds of Republican races, and they said, we're done. I think that there's still a sliver of hope that if we can purge the party of these people, these charlatans, that we can restore the party with the people who are sane, like the Paul Ryans of the world, and like myself and some of the others who have kind of stepped away for now. And like Paul Ryan did, he was able to step away and still have some dignity. He did it at the right time.
He did. He did.
Yes.
He was trying to work on poverty.
Yes.
He wanted to leave and work on issues of poverty. But
right, which has been dear because he is a disciple of Jack Kemp. So, and I have a soft spot for Paul Ryan. I knew he was in a terrible, precarious no-win situation when he was speaker. But anyway, so people like Michael Steele and I think that there has to be somebody left to build this thing up when it's burnt to the ground? Who's going to rebuild it? So so we have a sliver of hope that it can be rebuilt, because we need to have two healthy parties in this country, two functioning parties, because
Really
that's the way
do.
it is.
Really do.
So we don't want to cede it to these people, to the cult of Trump. You know, this is the party of Lincoln, and we're not going to let him and anybody else just complete. So we're here, we're in this fight. But if I can tell you right now, I don't know what Michael Steele's going to do, but I know for me, come November 4th, if Donald Trump is reelected, I am done. I'm out. I will go independent and, you know, see what happens down the road. But there will be no room. It'll be clear. It will be clear that there is no room in the Republican Party for sane people, sane conservatives. So
let me say this.
We're working on it.
So there are a lot of people, when Donald Trump won, were in the fetal position for at least a year.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to tell you something. If that happens again,
I fear for what happens. I really do, on both ends. I just, my mom talks about we're moving to Italy. Like, she's like, every day she sends me property listings in Italy.
I said I'm moving to France. I already said I was moving to France. But here's the thing. Susan Rice, the former National Security Advisor, former UN ambassador, who was a potential pick for Joe Biden this go round, said that if he stays and he remains, you cannot fix anything. It's irreparable.
Right.
He said you're at this moment right now where there's a chance to change.
Yes.
You know, to fix.
John Bolton said the same thing. John Bolton said the same thing. I mean, you know, however you feel about John Bolton, I'm pissed off at him right now.
Both of them were in the same space.
But right, they're in the same national security space. They understand. They understand that
one
world.
Republican, one Democrat.
That's right.
And they're both saying the same thing. This is the chance where you can possibly fix it.
Yep.
You can possibly fix it. Now, someone said it's a damn shame that I'm the only one at my job who wears a mask. Please, y'all, wear a mask. Why is it so political now, Tara? Why is it political for me to put this thing on? I have underlying issues.
I do too. I'm asthmatic. My mom is an asthmatic. Like, we can't mess around with that. I mean, asthma is hereditary in my family. My grandmother was asthmatic. I mean, we can't mess around. So it's like, what is so, you know, it's just this twisted thing about machismo, this very perverted idea that Trump supporters, these Trump followers, have about what's being, you know, what's tough and it's not. And Donald Trump is like the least tough person ever. He's such a coward in so many levels that they find some kind of weird bravado in him. I'll leave that to the psychologist to figure out. But the fact that he has turned wearing a mask into something so political, and how many people have bought into this, is alarming. There are so many other things that are alarming. But the fact that so many people, it's like, oh, you're some kind of liberal pussy if you wear a mask, or whatever kind of crazy stuff they say. What? It's a death cult.
It's almost like in defiance. Okay, if I gotta wear something, I'm gonna wear a neck gaiter. And the neck gaiters, you can still, because somebody came to do work on my house.
And they're worse, by the way.
I saw a spit come through. They were talking. I said, "Oh, I'm so glad that they were far away."
Yes. And a report just came out on neck gaiters that they are actually worse than no masks, because they're so permeable that when you spit, the particles, they don't just go out; they actually disperse more. So, because I was like, how could a neck gaiter be worse than no mask? That's why. That's right. It disperses the spittle from your mouth into smaller particles that hang in the air longer. So folks, do not wear neck gaiters. Those are not good. You need to wear masks. Double them up if you want to. But you know, neck gaiters and bandanas, that material is no good.
Yeah, but I know, right. So I tried to blow out a candle the other day with this on. I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And it's the truth. This is the medical mask. Okay. Right. So I buy them in bulk for my kids and myself. And then
double up on them if you can, because they're good. You don't go out, but they're not the best for the virus getting through them to you. They're good for you not to go. So, you know, N95s are obviously the best, but they're in short supply because, again, this administration dropped the ball on the producing N95 masks in America. The president did not invoke the Defense Production Act when he should have early on, because they're very easy to make. 3M is an American company. They are American, you know, they are an American company. This is what they do. They could have helped with, share their technology with others to use the Defense Production Act to build, to create these things, make them. But instead, no, the president didn't want to do that because he was in denial about this the whole time. So, and the national stockpile is in a shortage. FEMA just said that medical supplies are in a shortage for them, first time ever that medical supplies are in shortage for FEMA. So let's pray that this hurricane season isn't like the past.
And the president oversees FEMA, and FEMA is
Yeah.
not sure. FEMA is having a bidding war.
Yes.
When people, it should just be trying to restock and make sure people have these things. They're going through a bidding war to make sure that whoever's the highest bidder can get the most out, or cheapest bidder. It's crazy. It's just,
yeah, it's crazy. So for folks out there, if you have a surgical mask, wear it. Obviously, no, it's better than nothing. If you can double it up, double it up. But it should always have 3 layers. But still, if you can't get your hands on an N95, but it's a shame that we basically have to do this on our own because the government has failed. I mean, that should be the one thing that the government, like the Army, is very good at, is logistics. And this was a big logistics failure. They should have put a general, like Lieutenant Colonel Honore, who ran the Katrina response after things, at the initial response. He got it together. Get him, someone like Honore or somebody to come out here and work the logistics for it. But it's a little too late now because the country is so divided that it's become a death cult. That literally not wearing a mask is some type of symbol of pride for these idiot Trump supporters. And it could kill them and their families and their loved ones. It's so selfish. I can't deal.
So what's so sad is that if the president says something, I do the exact opposite. Because when he was saying, "Oh, don't buy food and everything," I was buying stockpiles.
Oh, us too.
I was buying masks.
Us too. When that fool Surgeon General of ours, Jerome Adams, was tweeting out in all caps back in February to people stop wearing masks, that they're not effective against this, or whatever he wrote. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes no sense whatsoever. The people in Asia are used to wearing masks because of different things that happen to them over there, and flu season and things. They're wearing masks for a reason. It didn't medically make sense that something that's contagious wasn't airborne and that a mask wouldn't matter. So my family and I said, yeah, the hell with that. And we went and got masked when we still could. And my husband is, on the front lines as a federal law enforcement officer. And even on the job for him, you'd be surprised how many people do not wear masks.
I can imagine. I know what he does, and I know who he works with. And crazy thing is, the people where he works, they're getting sick too.
Yes. So, yes. He actually took a 3-month leave of absence in order to protect me, because he was so concerned that by going to the job that he might bring it home to me, and he was unwilling to put my life at risk. So thank God he's a 20.
Loves you. I love how your husband loves you.
I have a wonderful husband
like that. Anyway, he's good people. So someone said, what can Congress and the Senate do when Trump loses re-election and won't leave? That's a good question.
April, did you see it today? Did you hear him say that he may not leave quietly? He said that today.
And people said, "Oh, April Ryan is predicting." He said that a couple of years ago.
Today. And he said it again today.
And I said, I said, people, Fox News was having it. I said, when on January 20th at noon, because that's the time, January 20th at noon is when the inauguration is supposed to happen every 4 years. It's written into our founding documents.
In the Constitution.
When Joe Biden is giving, our founding documents. When Joe Biden is standing, when Joe Biden is standing there at the Capitol, I couldn't get where it was, and delivering the oath with his hand on the Bible, there's going to be a split screen of Donald Trump being pulled out by authorities. Because I'm telling you, I said it. Everybody said, "Oh, April Ryan is just making."
Oh my God, April!
He said it.
He said it. And you know what? Here's the scary part. Back to what
Carl pull him out.
Me too. With a mask on, if it's still relevant.
Bro, I'm gonna have a hazmat suit on and a mask.
I'm telling you.
And my own hand on the inside.
Back to Carl Bernstein's comment about a cold civil war. What worries me is that that his people will take up arms to protect him in some way, shape, or form, and do something crazy. And I just, It
Yeah,
worries
like they
me.
went to Liberate in Michigan and everywhere
Right.
else, but they're
Like that
armed.
shit is real, and people are being ginned up here, and you're seeing record numbers of ammunition and weapons being bought. What are they going to do with this? I mean, I'm all pro Second Amendment and all that. That's fine. But why are these people stocking up ammunition for
And see,
what?
here's the
I don't.
problem. Here's the
It
problem. They think
worries
that
me.
the issue, and I'm not trying to say anything, but why would one group of people think that they're the only ones who has something versus another group? And see, people have got to stop this because it
That's
causes
nationalism. That's that
tensions to
populist
escalate.
nationalism.
It causes
Mm-hmm.
tensions to escalate. If the president loses the election, he's doing everything he can illegitimately and illegally to make
Yes.
sure that he wins. But if he loses the election, just let it go. This is the process that happens every 4 years.
This conversation is going to be had more and more because of his erratic behavior and his willingness to violate norms.
Wait a minute,
People are going to talk about
this.
Well.
He is not well.
No, well, we know that in a number of ways.
He is declining physically and mentally. You can see it. And I'm not going to get into it from what I hear, but you can see it. But here's another thing. One of the main reasons why, and Tara, you can speak to this from the Lincoln Project, one of the reasons why he doesn't want to leave, because as soon as he leaves, there is an unsealing of documents, prosecution of this president and those around him.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I mean, that's it's self-preservation.
White knuckling the chair in the Oval Office, the Resolute desk. He's gonna be white knuckling. John went through that desk. He's gonna be white knuckling it.
I'm telling you, that is it's another just another aspect of this that is just crazy to think about. That the president of the United States is willing to do all this and violate the Constitution and stay in office to avoid being prosecuted. I mean, it's like what? Oh, I see my Derek Monroe, honey. I see you there. Derek Monroe. Just so
Donald Trump is acknowledging there will not be a peaceful transfer of power.
Yes, he basically is alluded to the fact that he would not that he may not accept it.
Karen,
so that is a problem.
He didn't allude to it. He said it. He did it the second time at least. He said it.
Yes, and it's
he said he's not going to go too easily.
He said, "I may
call it out." Sis, come on.
I can't because it's too crazy.
But here's my fear.
Just so people know, though, if Donald Trump doesn't go, Nancy Pelosi becomes president until they figure it out. So
honey,
they don't want that either. Yeah, they don't want that either.
So here's what's going on. If Joe Biden wins November 3rd, which is my daughter's birthday, we're going to have a birthday cake for her. And I told her, we may have an after party. We don't know. We're going to stay up.
I hope so. I hope that's the greatest gift we can give her.
It's her 13th birthday. And we're going to possibly have an after party. But here's the problem. From that moment of election to inauguration, you got how much time? He still has power to do stuff.
In the lame duck section.
Yes, he has power to do stuff. I know. And it's going to get worse if he loses. And my issue is, what happened? Why are these people who enable him, Mitch McConnell, all these Republicans who are enabling this president, why have they not stepped in? Is it because
they're afraid? Yeah, they're afraid to lose power. They're afraid to lose power. They're afraid that Donald Trump's supporters are going to come out en masse in a primary. And everyone knows that elected officials, they're single seekers of reelection. Their number one priority is to get reelected. Lindsey Graham basically admitted this when so many people 2 years ago were like, what in the hell happened to Lindsey Graham? Once John McCain died, Lindsey Graham just became this total Donald Trump sycophant after he called Trump out during the election, because he called Trump out for what he was. Lindsey Graham's not dumb,
Right. They didn't want him.
But Lindsey Graham,
he wouldn't be president. But
here's the thing. That's right. Well, here's the thing. People like Lindsey Graham, who were kind of B players, they're now relevant. And he recognized that his way of getting power and being relevant in this political climate was to jump on the Trump train. Principles be damned. And then what do you think? People weren't going to notice? But he admitted this. He's like, why would I not be a part of this? Because now I have more power and relevance than I ever did before. People like that need to go. That is the most cynical, craven type of politician. And we've got to get rid of them because they don't deserve to hold the office. They're doing a disservice to the people. So That's why they're afraid. They don't want to. They don't want to lose power. They think, well, if we just go along with this, Trump will go away, and then we can go back to being normal because we hold on to power. Because there's no term limits on members of Congress. Well, you know what? To hell with that. We don't have time for that kind of cowardice. You don't deserve to be in office for that. For them. That's why Lincoln Project is targeting Republicans like Susan Collins, like Cory Gardner, like Martha McSally. These people have been enablers when they could have stood up, and they didn't. So you know what? You got to go.
So Tara, wow, Tara just asked. Tara just answered someone's question. When will the Republican Party get a backbone and stand up to Trump?
When they lose.
Yeah.
When they lose, people don't change until they pay enough of a price.
So and let's get into the Lincoln Project, because the Lincoln Project is huge. This is not just the little group. This is a major, powerful group that's garnered so much attention. They've got major players who are Republican, who are saying no more, and they're voting for Joe Biden. And this is not the only group, but this is the biggest group with these kind of names. Talk to us about this.
Yeah, so it's not just us, thank God. We have others like Republican Voters Against Trump, RVAT, if you guys should follow them. RVAT, everyone has kind of their own lanes. Lincoln Project has decided, because it's, Republican communication specialists and consultants, they know how to put out an ad campaign and they know strategy. So they're using their knowledge to do it that way. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't seen the dad ad today, the 2-minute plus ad on Joe Biden and who he is, watch it. It'll bring tears to your eyes, because you see just what an amazing, compassionate man Joe Biden is compared to this bastard we have in the White House now. So watch that ad, or sign up for Lincoln Project ads, and you can get them on the website or on YouTube. But you have RVAT, which is Bill Kristol and Tim Miller, former and current Republicans, never Trumpers. They're the lane of testimonials. They're showing videos of people who are Republicans that may have voted for Trump before and say, we are not making that mistake again, and this is why. They have an amazing, powerful testimonial out today from the former Homeland Security Chief of Staff, the Chief of Staff to the former Secretary, Taylor. He talks about how Donald Trump asked Homeland Security to do things that were illegal. He said how Donald Trump tried to seek retribution against the poor folks out in California who lost everything in the wildfires a couple of years ago. He told the head of FEMA to stop providing aid to those people because they didn't vote for him. These are coming from people who worked in the administration, who saw it firsthand, what a vile, horrible person Donald Trump is and what a threat he is to the Constitution. So that's what RVAT is doing. Then I also sit on the board of Stand Up Republic, which was started by Evan McMullin and Mindy Finn, who ran as independent conservatives in 2016, and who I actually voted for. I did not vote for Donald Trump, and I did not vote for Hillary. I did vote for Evan McMullin. I lived in New Jersey at the time, so it didn't matter, before anybody starts yelling at me. But I live in Virginia now, and it's a binary choice this time around. But anyway, and Evan and Mindy decided to start Stand Up Republic to defend democratic norms and institutions and ideals. And so RVAT, Principles First, is another one, which is started by a millennial. His name is Heath Mayo, also about trying to restore the principles of our country and the Republican Party and of conservatism. And they've joined together, Stand Up Republic and Principles First, who've joined together with others participating to do the Convention on Founding Principles, which is going to run next week as a counter convention to the RNC. And we will be giving speeches, prominent Never Trump conservatives. We'll be giving speeches about the importance of getting back to our founding principles. So that's something else, if you want to check out CFP 2020, that you can look at if you want to see kind of where there are sane conservatives out there standing up. So all of us are working together because this is it's a group effort. It's a group effort. We have to do this all together because the health of our republic depends on it. It's life or death at this point.
You guys, I'm sorry, you saw something under my arm because I wanted to I'm pulling stuff down, I'm showing some artifacts. I'm home. I don't have to do stuff.
That's all right. I'm home too. I hear you. Don't let me stand up. I have my pajamas underneath this.
So, okay. But,
I got pajama pants on underneath this.
Oh, good. Yeah. So look, I think it's important that we all have
the direct Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Yep.
In our possession.
Yep.
I always carry them. And I always have them. And also, so as we are, tonight, the Democratic, somebody said, yes, we saw that. Okay, you saw it. I'm au naturel right now. Okay. But
I
it's
saw
just armpit. You saw armpit. Okay. It'll be gone tonight. It'll be
They
gone.
said no
vacation.
judgment, April.
Okay. So I want to show you some little trinkets from some conventions. I'm scared to go up and reach for some more. So look at this.
It's backwards, but it looks like it says "Kids for Romney."
Kids for Romney. Well, it's
Yeah.
not backwards. Is it? No, it's
well because
yeah,
of way
for
for me.
Okay, Kids for Romney. Okay.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me see. I got a couple of, oh my gosh. This is old.
Oh wow, 2000.
Yep. That's how far. Okay, hold on.
Listen, I've been to every Republican convention since 1996 when Bob
Really?
Dole was the nominee. Yes, and this will be the first time that obviously I'm not attending the convention, and I didn't want to anyway. When I was there in Cleveland in 2016, I was sick to my stomach the entire time. I sat there and I watched all those speeches, and I watched Donald Trump accept the nomination, and I just had a knot in the pit of my stomach. It's so I'm glad I don't have to go this year. I wouldn't feel safe actually going.
Remember when Barbie was giving out Barbie dolls?
Oh yeah,
for the conventions.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
hey, listen, April, I love you, but it's approaching 7, and I actually have to run to do a BBC interview across the pond. So
you're not going to London. You're not going to London, but you.
No, I have to. I'm broadcasting from here on a BBC program starting in like 3.5 minutes. So
I love you, but look. It's it's all about America.
It is all about America. People vote. Make sure you register to vote. Wear your masks. Stay safe. And April, thank you for having me. I love you.
Thank you, Tara.
Keep up the good work. And
look who's coming on tonight.
Yes, Michelle Obama's coming. Listen, when they go low, we go high, right? That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said back then. But right now,
Well, in the words of my friend Rick Wilson, who is one of the founders of Lincoln Project and behind many of the brilliant ads, Rick Wilson is a no holds barred guy, and he said, we are going to keep the foot on the neck until the end of this election, until Joe Biden is sworn in on January 2020. Keep the foot on the gas. So that's what we're going to do.
You know what?
Thanks,
I'm not going to shave my armpit until they vote Trump out. So anyway.
Good night, guys. It's been a
pleasure.
I
love you, Tara. Love you, Tara.
guys.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime.
Guys, we had a great
don't forget my podcast, Honestly Speaking with Tara. If you guys like it, download my podcast. It's everywhere podcasts are found. Honestly Speaking with Tara. So self-promotion.
Thank you, Tara.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, April.
My sister is CNN. You can see her everywhere. She's on Lincoln Project, guys. Just we got to stay woke. I don't even know if it's woke. We have to be vigilant. We have to use critical thinking. And it is just important right now for a time such as this. And when I said what I said on CNN, I said there's going to be a split screen. All the Republicans got all upset, but the president said that. And now look at what Tara said. He may have may not go so easily if he loses. He's a sore loser. And again, there could be a split screen of the president of the United States being pulled out and Joe Biden taking the oath of office at the Capitol, wherever he's going to do it, on January 20th. Someone said no sleep. Thank you for telling me my hair looks amazing. But right now, at this moment, I am excited to be back with you. I have to work tonight and all of this week. I have to work next week. But at the end of the day, it is about we the people who are still forming a more perfect union. You hear a lot of people talking about the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Get to know it for yourself. Get to know it for yourself. You can buy these anywhere. And it's so sad a lot of us don't realize that we have power. It's not about a president, a congressman, a mayor, a governor, or a city councilman, or a county executive. It's about us. Take your power back. And that's the problem now. We have forgotten the power that we have. Take your power back. What Dr. King and all the other groups who marched or wanted something, what they understood is that they had to organizing with like-minded people, then strategize, figure out how to get what you want done. Then after strategizing, leverage. Leverage meaning, how do you get what you want? You tell them, okay, you want this, but you got to give me this. So we have to remember we hold the power. We, the people, who are still forming a more perfect union. It is not perfect. It's never been perfect, but we're still forming it. We're going through growing pains right now. Going through growing pains. So tonight, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to watch Michelle Obama. I pick up a whole bunch of trinkets from these past campaigns and stuff. I got stuff from everywhere, and I'm still going through stuff. I can't even get my chair right. I'm still going through stuff. But this, and I got something that you guys would like too. Hold on, I got a couple other things. Hold on. Hold on. Ugh, I'm pulling it off my board. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I got a whole bunch of other stuff. Ooh. Okay. See that? See that? Remember this. Let me see so you can see it without. See that? CNN equals politics. Denver 2008. Love the chair. Thank you. Where did I get it? Oh, I got it. You need your own show on CNN. Speak it into existence. And lastly, for this moment, I've had this for a long time, but for this moment, that's where I am. That's where I am. The stakes are too high to be playing with this. The stakes are very high. It's too high to be playing with this. So, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I got one thing. I know, I do have an Obama bobblehead. Where is it? I got so much stuff. I got stuff from inauguration. I got stuff all around. Hold on. I do have this, and I shouldn't have this, but people are like, what is this? I got this. It's a paper holder. I've got the Obama bobblehead, the surfer. Hold on. I'm still unpacking a lot of stuff. Hold on. I got the bobblehead surfer. I got so much stuff. It's just crazy. And I'm still trying to catalog it and put it all in different places. But are you going to be doing anyone the coverage? I don't know what that means. Any more coverage? I'm gonna be on. Hey, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. You like it tonight, Tiffany? Let me see. I don't know. She's my media person. So here's what I'm going to say. I don't know. Am I going to do any more media coverage? I should be on this week. I'll be on this week, and I know. I'm around. But we had a good time tonight with Tara. But here's what I'm going to say to you. While collectors, I have a lot of collector's items. I miss you too, Tiffany. Thank you. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me see. Let me share some more stuff with you. Hold on. Okay. Have you heard of the storied M&M boxes at the White House with the president's signature on them? I've got a lot of them. I got a lot of stuff. I got too much stuff to even. I just got too much stuff. I got a lot of stuff around. I just gotta go. I gotta catalog everything. But I don't know. So when the Biden Harris stuff comes out, I'm gonna do it. When I see Trump Pence stuff, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it because it's important. It's important for me to have it. My memorabilia, just of this moment in history. It is what it is. But I tell you what. Stay in the game, stay active, stay aware, know what everything is, where you're going, where we're going, what are the issues of the day. It's right now, it's the post office, COVID, Black Lives Matter, and the stimulus check and beyond. So I want you guys to I'm going to check out Joy. Yes, I'm going to check out Joy too. I want you guys to stay tuned. I want you guys to stay relevant. And I want you guys to watch both conventions, the DNC and the RNC. I love you. My first night back off vacation. I'm happy to be back to talk to you. Love, peace, and soul, and vote. See you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's guest, we're going to have fun with the great Sherry Shepherd. Yes! Peace. May God bless you. Bye.